our time to come, calculated. Everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing what? Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah?
Thank you guys. Thank you for your kind words. But I start every module that I do, be it VCon or be it even a small gathering, and all the kind words and the super edification. For me, I am nothing more than a street sign. And why do I call myself a street sign? So today I talk to you from Dubai. And we are on a street, on a highway called Sheikh Zayed Road. And Sheikh Zayed Road, if I go to my left, we hit Dubai, we go into Dubai and into Abu Dhabi, Sharjah. If I go to the right, it's all the way to Abu Dhabi. And why do I call myself a street sign? Once again, is an upline can be nothing more than a street sign, because the journey, your journey to financial freedom, your journey to success, your journey to your dreams is your journey. It cannot be mine. It cannot be mine. I can share with you my experiences, my failures, my successes, but those are mine. Every time I failed, it's my failure. Every time I've succeeded, I can take credit for it. So you have to ask yourself a fundamental question. And that question is, why are you here? Why are we here? Why have you taken the time to spend 3 days with us? Why have I taken the time to come here and talk to you? Why is Dato here? Why is Chief here? Why are the V partners here? Why are the V ambassadors here? That is a very pointed question. And normally, when we were in a crowd, I would actually ask people for their feedback. And I'd get the usual answers. I want to learn. I want to be successful. I want to change my life. And all these answers are beautiful answers. It's correct. But this is what I call answers on the surface. So let's go a little deeper. And I use this as my icebreaker whenever I speak to people who think I'm some superhuman being, like Batman at night goes out and saves the world, or Spider-Man or Superman or something. Boss, I'm a lazy bum like you. So let me tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I am not where I want to be in life. So you may think that I have got a certain degree of success. I call it a relative success. Because success is relative. You measure it based on a certain benchmark. So for many of you, the speakers are successful. But if you actually speak to the speakers on a one-on-one, they will tell you that they have a long way to go. And honestly, that is how I feel about myself. I feel like I have a long way to go. Whatever I have done so far in my life is like just a warm-up. Literally a warm-up. And my best days are yet to come. So this is something I want you to understand. Now, I have been asked to speak about one of the themes of the VCon, which is revival. I cannot speak about revival because what's more important than revival is what I call survival. Now let me explain to you my thought process on this whole thing. Revival means, you revive yourself. It's a new lease of life. And you come back with more energy, more power, and you are revived. You have a new energy around you. However, you cannot revive yourself if you've not gone through survival mode. And one of the most overlooked things in life is survival. Survival is one of the most primal and the most basic human instincts that come to us all naturally. You have to survive. All of you are survivors. All of us. We have survived something in life. If we had not survived that, there is no prospect of a future. Plain and simple. You know it, I know it. Let's talk on a simplistic thing. At some point in time, we've all had to study for an exam overnight, cram our studies, and then basically, pass the exam. And when you're doing the overnight studying and sleeping for 3-4 hours, you are in survival mode. True or not? We've all been through that. Now what I love to give examples about sport. Because sport is something that people get inspired by. And we look up to sports people like they're superhumans. And in some way, shape or form they are. But they're also humans. So let me give you a few examples. Let me have some fun with you now. I'll give you some real life examples and I'll give you some historical, examples about survival. Why is survival so important? Because when a sportsman goes out, the first instinct he's got is to survive. So the first example I'll give you is Muhammad Ali. There was a famous fight in the 70s. It was called the Rumble in the Jungle. And let me tell you the story about Ali. Ali is one of my idols. Great man. And I had the privilege of actually listening to him speak live once in the US when he had Parkinson's, sadly. So he sounded a bit, broken, but great man. Lion heart. So Muhammad Ali was born Cassius Clay. And Ali lived in a generation where there was George Foreman, Joe Frazier, and Muhammad Ali. 3 heavyweights, larger than life. All 3 world champions, world heavyweight champions. Guys, I'm talking, this is it. This is where the game is. So let me give you a lay of the land now. The lay of the land is, Ali is an idealist. Idealist means he believes in his principles. And the Vietnam War. And he gets drafted into the US Army. And he's a world champion. Dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He is invincible. And he has a big mouth. But the thing about Ali, he backed up everything he said. He walked his talk. So, he refused to sign for the US Army. He dodged the draft. He said, I'm not going to fight a white man's war. I got no quarrel with the people of Vietnam, and my Vietnam brothers and sisters who are here. I know that you're all part of Sachin's team and my team and our team. You know your history. I've been to Vietnam. So Ali refused to fight a white man's war. And because of that, he was stripped of his world heavyweight title and he was banned from fighting during the 3 prime years of his life in the late 20s, when a boxer actually reaches his true potential. Now, before that, Ali had fought Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier and Ali had 3 bruising fights. Ali lost the first one and then came back and won the next 2, and the last one was called the Thriller in Manila. They fought in Manila and it was unbelievable. You can go on YouTube and check this out. But he then came back and they finally lifted his ban, and then he had to fight George Foreman. Now, George Foreman had knocked out Joe Frazier in just a few rounds, like that. It was a no contest. He killed him. Joe, I can't explain to you George Foreman. George Foreman is like a beast. Now, Ali challenged Foreman for the title. Foreman got so fed up because Ali kept telling him, you may have the belt, but I'm the champ. You understand what that means, guys? You may have the belt, but I'm the champ. I'm the champ. So George Foreman finally said, I'll fight you anywhere you want, anytime you want. Because George Foreman wanted to prove to the world that he was the best. And Ali told him, I will fight you in Zaire. I will fight you at 4 o'clock in the morning in Zaire, because it's prime time in the US. And they call that fight the Rumble in the Jungle. Now I don't have much time, but let me explain to you what happened during this fight. What happened during this fight is, Ali was an older man. Foreman was a bull. Okay? He had killed a buffalo with a single blow. Do you understand what that means? One punch. The poor animal died after a few days. That's how strong he was. So, Ali is coming and he's got all the hype and he's talking and he's doing this and talking, and then the fight night comes and we go to the locker room. And I still remember watching a BBC Panorama documentary on what happened that night. And Ali's corner were nervous. They were very nervous. Because they knew he was an older man and he was fighting a guy younger and stronger than him. And as the reporters came in, he lifted up the spirit of the whole locker room. And he said, you know what? I'm going to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm going to be the champ. Fight starts. Fight starts. First round. Now let me explain to you a little bit about boxing. I love boxing, okay? Although I don't look like a boxer, I don't box, but I love boxing. So, when you're a right-hander, you jab with your left hand and then you punch with your right. Now why do you punch? When you jab, you keep him away. Then you punch with the right, because when you punch, you open yourself up, you can get hit also. Now when a boxer starts jabbing with the right, he's insulting the other boxer, telling him, I'm too quick for you, man. You can't even catch my jab. And Ali did that to Foreman. First round, he jabbed him 3-4 times, caught him with a jab. Foreman was shocked. He's going southpaw, going the other way. What's going on? Psychological advantage, which lasted for all of 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. After that, George Foreman took him into the corner and pounded him so badly, he got saved by the bell. You know what getting saved by the bell is? The 3-minute round got over, he went back to the corner, and Ali was standing on the ropes like that. And he was looking across. And he understood that George Foreman was there to finish him that night. Finish him. He was there to destroy him. He was there to steal his legacy. And the reporter said that's the first time they saw fear in Ali's eyes. Because there was a man who didn't care about his reputation. He was only there to do the job. And at that point in time, he was confronted with the one thing that all of us go through in life in a different way. Survive. He had just got his ass kicked. You understand? He got his ass kicked. I'm sorry for the French. I hope this is not edited, but getting your ass kicked is getting a good spanking on your backside. And after that, every single round, George Foreman was the bully. Ali was on the ropes. You know the ropes? Up against the ropes like this. And George Foreman was going bang, 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 bang. And you know what Ali was telling him? Hey George, is that all you got, George? My mama used to spank me harder, George. I thought you could hit harder, George. Come on. Come on, box me, George. And this guy went mental. Mental. Punch. He wanted to finish. He wanted to destroy Ali. And Ali's on the call. That's all you got, George. Come on, George. My mom used to spank me harder, George. Come on, man. Come on, come on. Hit me, George. So guys, in boxing terms, it's called the rope-a-dope. He's against the ropes, getting punched. Left, right, and center. And the commentators, during that fight, they said, is it a fix? Has Ali decided to lose? Is he just fighting to get the prize money? Because he cannot beat George Foreman. And this is the kind of commentary that's happening. And Joe Fraser was one of the commentators. And I'll tell you, I'll just cut a long story short. This went on, if my memory serves me right, for 8 rounds. It was 7 or 8 rounds. I'm a bit foggy, guys. You can check it on YouTube. And I'll tell you what happened in the 8th round or the 7th round, I'm not sure, is that George Foreman boxed himself out, punched himself out, and got tired. He was hitting him so hard, and Ali was he was surviving, just taking it. Taking it. If I can eat your best punch, what can you do? Can't hurt me, man. You can't hurt me. Plain and simple. That's the message he sent him. That's all you got, George. My mom used to spank me harder, George. Come on. Give me your best shot. I'll take it. And in that round, Ali felt the strength of the punches weakening. And what happened after that, guys, you have to watch it. It's incredible. From the rope, he came back, thop, 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 pop, 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 pop. He knocked him out in 40 seconds. George Foreman was on his ass, didn't know what hit him. And Ali was a world champion again. What's the moral of the story? He survived 8 rounds. He took the punishment. He survived. And then he revived. And when he revived, he came back like a tiger, like a lion. And he knocked him out. And the whole world up to today talks about that fight. So guys, revival can only happen once you go through survival. You have to survive. You talk to Virat Kohli. Okay, this is the Indian, people I'm talking to now. He's our captain, Indian cricket captain. He's not been doing very well. When he goes out to bat, it doesn't matter what his record was. He's on 0. He's starting a new innings. And he has to survive. Then the runs come after that. But first is survival. So your mindset has to be one of survival. You cannot let negativity, letdowns, rejections, short-term failures basically mess with your head. You cannot do that. You don't have the luxury in life to do that. I have survived cancer twice in my life. That's why I sound like shit. When I was going through my treatment, what was I thinking about? Surviving. And today, by God's grace, I'm talking to you about revival. So revival is a natural progression from survival. And the first thing I want you to do is give yourself a round of applause. I'm clapping for you. You know why? You're still around. Think of yourself in the ring. It's not easy, I know. You know, the Google heart attacks, the negativity, will it work, this won't happen, that won't happen. You have to survive all this, guys. Only once you survive all that, can you revive yourself. Survival is the most important human primal instinct. And we all have it in us. I'm trying to wake that up in each of you. I want to come to your house, slap you 4 or 5 times and say, you're a survivor. Because you are. You are a survivor. That's why we are talking today. I'm a survivor. We are survivors. I can give you so many other examples. You know, I love talking about, open secret, you'll all know this. I have played against Sachin Tendulkar 3 years in a row when I was in school. So I went to St. Mary's and he was in a school called Shahadash. So Sachin Tendulkar is considered the best batsman, one of the best batsmen that ever lived. He's a legend. So Sachin Tendulkar and me go back a long way. I didn't like him very much when I was in school because we were fed up. The guy made like 300 runs against us once. Okay? And many years later, ironically, I showed him the QNET business in his house. When he had a shoulder surgery, and guys, this is a true story, I showed Sachin Tendulkar the business plan. Okay? Cross my heart, hope to die. I'm telling you the truth. And he was injured. And he listened to me very patiently. I abused him also. I said, I hated you in school. He was laughing. In his house. And then we ended up talking about watches. I'm an AP fan, Audemars Piguet. And he's one of the brand ambassadors. I said, I hate you even more now because you get your watches for free. I have to pay for the watches. So he's laughing. He said, if you can hit a cricket ball as well as I do, they'll give you the watches for free also. So I showed him the business plan and then, of course, he said, excellent plan, fantastic, thank you for your time. His hand was in a sling. And then a few years later, I met him on a flight while I was going to London. And we were both on a British Airways flight, I still remember, Bombay to London. And ironically, we were sitting next to each other in business class. That time BA didn't have first class. And during that flight, he came and he smiled, I smiled, he saw my watch. But I didn't want to kind of, it's like a vague memory, when a guy kind of doesn't remember you, but the face looks a bit familiar. So I waited for us to go to cruising altitude, everything. And then I asked him the question. I said, when did you know that you were ready to play international cricket? And let me tell you about Tendulkar, okay? He made, I don't know how many bowlers in the school game gave up the sport because him and Kambli, Vinod Kambli actually was better than him in school. He's another batsman that played for India. But Tendulkar had a discipline that surpassed Kambli. Kambli was more talented actually at that point in time. And he said, when I went to Pakistan, they all pinched my cheeks like a little boy, 16 years old. They were intrigued how such a young boy can play international cricket. And he was invited to people's homes, and they were, treating him like a kid. And then he came out to bat. Waqar Younis, Wasim Akram. Man, it doesn't get any worse than that. And talking at their prime, 16-year-old boy with a voice like mine, like a shrill little voice, and he had his nose broken. The first ball only, Waqar bowled, boom, went past him. They were there to knock his head off. What was his mindset? Survive. 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 So revive will come later. And then they broke his nose and he fell down. And poor Sidhu was on the other side. He said, I said, that's it. And he got up and he said 2 words, Me khelto. Me khelto in Marathi, it's not even Hindi, means I will play. And the next ball, his nose has been taped up. Okay, after taking it straight on the nose. The next ball, Waqar Younis bowled the toe crusher. The Yorker, when you bat, the Yorker. He set him up for that. Bouncer, boom. Next one, Yorker. And he had moved back, anticipated it in his crease. And the next ball, Waqar finished his action. And he hit it. Bang. And Waqar up to today says, I had not even finished my full action and gone through. I heard the ball hitting the fence. And he said, Tuja Aichi. I don't want to translate what that means. It means your mother's whatever, okay? And Waqar walked up to me, you little shit. You just hit me for a 4 after I broke your nose. Survival. Survival, guys. And he went on to make a 70 odd in that innings, I still remember. So what I want you to focus on, revival will come. Focus on survival. See, we are all broken down people. We all have problems in life. Okay? If all of us could tell our sad stories, we'd all go home crying every day. I can tell you my sad stories. Oh, I came from a broken home. Oh, I survived cancer. Oh, this happened. I got cheated. This happened, that happened. I had my heart broken. All this stuff, we can all tell our sad stories. But I'll tell you 2 things. Number 1, if we all put our problems on a table and we see each other's problems, most of us will take our problems back because we know how to deal with those problems. Other people's problems you have no idea about. So let's say a person who has never gone through cancer or chemotherapy or anything, and you tell him now you've got cancer and maybe you won't live for 3 months. He'll say, boss, whatever shit I'm going through in my life, I don't care. It's fine. I don't want to die. True or not? So that is the mindset. Now, talking to you tonight, I want you to ask you one question. Are you a survivor? Because if you're a survivor, the QNet, Datosri, have provided you a platform for you to revive your life. But we cannot help you unless you have got that survival instinct in you. You have to want to do it. You have to want to survive. We have just gone through 2020. It's the year of survival. You know it. How many businesses have gone under? How many businesses have gone under this year? How many people have lost their jobs? How many people have got pay cuts? One question I'm most proud of, I want to ask. Have you ever received an email from us telling you, due to the pandemic COVID-19, your commission is going to get cut? Sorry, we cannot pay you on time. Sorry, leave without pay or some rubbish. Whatever you do, on Tuesday you get paid, boss. And this is the proudest thing. I am proudest about this one thing. So guys, find your system of survival. Take those hits. Take those hits. Survive it. The world will give you those punches. And what you got to say is, that's all you got? I'm stronger than that, man. Because when I get my chance, I'm going to knock you out and I'm going to max out. So I wish you that moment, the sweetest moment, when you get that chance and you've taken the hits, then you come back, boom, 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 and you max out and you change your life. God bless you guys. Love you all.
Criticize, but how our bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim, fire.